What if the financial advice you followed your entire life is quietly making you poorer? You save money, you avoid debt, you spend less, you build your bank balance. Sounds responsible, right? But there's a problem. While your money sits there feeling safe, inflation is eating away at what it can actually buy. And the longer you wait, the more expensive that mistake can become, because saving money isn't always the same thing as building wealth. Everyone tells you to save money. Your parents told you. Your teachers told you. That guy on social media with the fake Lamborghini told you. Save, save, save. It sounds responsible. It sounds smart. It sounds like the one piece of financial advice nobody could ever argue with. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. Saving money, the way most people do it, might be the single biggest reason they stay broke for the rest of their lives. Stick with me here, because this is not clickbait nonsense. This is math. This is psychology. And by the end of this video, you're going to look at your savings account completely differently. Let's start with the story you've heard 1,000 times. Work hard. Spend less than you earn. Put the rest in a savings account. Watch it grow. Retire comfortably. That's the dream, right? Except that dream was designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore. It was designed for a time when a savings account actually paid you real interest, when $1 today was worth almost the same as $1 in 10 years, and when banks weren't quietly stealing your purchasing power while smiling at you through a mobile app. Here's what almost nobody explains clearly. Inflation is not some abstract economic term you can ignore. Inflation is a silent tax on every single dollar sitting in your bank account doing nothing. If inflation runs at around 3 to 4% a year, and your savings account pays you less than 1%, you are not saving money. You are losing money, slowly, quietly, every single day. You open your banking app, you see the number go up by a few cents of interest, and you feel good. Meanwhile, that same amount of money buys less gas, less groceries, less rent than it did last year. You're not building wealth. You're watching wealth evaporate in slow motion. And the bank is even taking a cut in the process by lending out your money at rates far higher than what they're paying you. Now, I'm not telling you to go blow your paycheck the moment it hits your account. That's not the point here. The point is that there's a massive difference between saving money and hoarding money, and almost nobody makes that distinction. Saving with a purpose, an emergency fund, a short-term goal, a down payment you'll use in a year or two, that's smart. That's strategy. But piling up cash for years with no plan, just letting it sit there because it feels safe, that's not financial security. That's financial paralysis. And paralysis, over 20 or 30 years, is brutally expensive. Let's talk about opportunity cost, because this is where the real damage happens. Every dollar you keep sitting in a low-interest savings account is a dollar that is not out there working for you. It's not compounding in an index fund. It's not building equity in a small business. It's not being invested in your own skills, your own education, your own ability to earn more. Money that just sits still is money that has stopped growing. And when you compare what that money could have become if it had been invested instead, the gap is not small. It's staggering. Picture to people. Same income, same age. Person A saves diligently every single month into a basic savings account, feels proud, feels responsible, checks the balance, feels safe. Person B saves the same amount, but instead of parking it in a savings account, they put it into a diversified low-cost investment portfolio and just leave it alone for 20 years. Historically, the stock market has returned somewhere around 7 to 10% a year on average over long periods, even accounting for crashes, recessions, and terrifying headlines. Person A's money barely keeps pace with inflation. Person B's money doubles, then doubles again. Same discipline, same sacrifice, same monthly amount. Wildly different outcome. The only difference is that one person let their money sit still, and the other let their money move. This is the part that really stings. Person A did everything they were told to do. They were responsible. They avoided debt. They didn't buy the flashy car. They didn't take vacations they couldn't afford. And they still end up decades behind. Not because they made bad decisions, but because they followed advice that was outdated the moment they heard it. That's the trap. Doing the safe thing can actually be one of the riskiest financial decisions of your life, because the risk isn't visible. It doesn't show up as a dramatic crash. It shows up as decades of missed growth that you never even notice, because nothing bad ever appears to happen. Your balance never goes down. It just never goes up enough either. There's also a psychological trap hiding inside the save everything mindset. And this one is sneaky. When your entire financial identity is built around saving and never spending, never investing, never taking any calculated risk, you start developing what's called a scarcity mindset. You start seeing money as something fragile that needs to be protected at all costs, instead of something that can be used as a tool to build more money. People with a scarcity mindset are terrified of investing because investing involves risk, and risk feels dangerous when you've spent your whole life being told that safety is the highest financial virtue. But here's the irony. The scarcity mindset that feels so safe is actually what keeps people poor. It keeps them stuck in survival mode instead of growth mode. It keeps them optimizing for not losing money instead of optimizing for building wealth. And those are two completely different games with two completely different outcomes. Let's flip this around and look at how genuinely wealthy people actually think about money, because it's almost the opposite of what most of us were taught. Wealthy individuals rarely keep large piles of cash sitting around doing nothing. Cash, to them, is not the goal. Cash is a tool, a temporary holding place before it gets deployed somewhere productive. They keep enough for emergencies and opportunities, sure, but the rest is constantly working. It's in businesses. It's in real estate. It's in stocks, bonds, and other assets that generate more money over time. They understand something that most people never get taught in school. Money that isn't working for you is losing value every single day it sits still, whether you can see it or not. Now let's talk about debt for a second, because this connects directly to the saving myth. We've all been told debt is evil, and reckless debt absolutely can be. High-interest credit card debt, predatory loans, financing things you can't afford, that stuff will wreck you. No argument there. But there's a difference between bad debt and strategic debt, and lumping them together is one of the reasons people become so obsessed with saving every penny instead of using leverage intelligently. A mortgage on a property that appreciates in value and generates rental income. A low-interest loan used to grow a business that returns far more than the interest cost. These are examples of debt working for you instead of against you. People who obsessively avoid all debt, even smart debt, often end up moving through life far more slowly, and they need to, because they're trying to save up in cash for things that could have been leveraged strategically years earlier. Here's another angle nobody talks about enough. Saving money excessively can actually stop you from investing in yourself, and that might be the most expensive mistake of all. Think about it. Every dollar hoarded instead of spent on a course, a certification, a skill, a tool that increases your earning potential, is a dollar that limits your future income. Your ability to earn money is the single greatest wealth-building asset you have, more powerful than any interest rate, any stock pick, any savings account. But building that ability sometimes requires spending money now, taking a course, investing in equipment, starting a side project, even taking a pay cut temporarily to gain experience in a higher-paying field. People who are obsessed with saving every dollar often say no to these opportunities because spending money on themselves feels irresponsible, and so they stay in the same job, at the same salary, saving diligently, while their earning potential stays completely flat for years. Let's also be honest about something uncomfortable. Extreme saving can quietly damage your quality of life right now, in the present, in exchange for a future that isn't even guaranteed. Constantly denying yourself experiences, relationships, health, travel, memories with people you love, all in the name of maximizing a savings balance, is its own kind of risk. Life is not guaranteed to give you a someday where you finally get to enjoy the money you saved. Some of the wealthiest, most miserable people in the world have massive bank balances and nothing else, because they spent every year of their life in scarcity mode. Always saving, never living, always preparing for a future that kept getting pushed back. Financial security matters, absolutely, but security that comes at the cost of every meaningful experience along the way is not actually winning. It's just a different kind of losing. So if saving money the traditional way is flawed, what's the alternative? This is where it gets practical, so pay attention. The goal isn't to stop saving completely. The goal is to save smarter and put your money to work instead of letting it sleep. Start with a real emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, kept somewhere accessible, like a high-yield savings account, not a basic one paying almost nothing. That's your safety net, and it should exist before anything else. Once that's built, shift your focus. Instead of continuing to stack cash indefinitely, Start directing new money toward investments that actually grow. Retirement accounts with tax advantages. Low-cost index funds that track the overall market. Assets that historically outpace inflation instead of quietly losing to it. This single shift from saver to investor is often the exact turning point between people who struggle financially their entire lives and people who eventually become financially free. At the same time, invest in your own earning potential just as seriously as you invest in the market. Learn a high-income skill. Negotiate your salary instead of assuming it's fixed. Start that side project you keep putting off. Take the course that could open a new career path. Every dollar and every hour invested in increasing what you can earn tends to pay off far more than any amount of penny pinching ever could. Because there's a limit to how much you can save, but there's no real limit to how much you can eventually earn. And take smart, calculated risks along the way. Not reckless gambling, not emotional decisions, but informed, researched moves that have a real chance of paying off. Every successful investor, entrepreneur, and financially free person you've ever heard of took some kind of risk at some point. They didn't get there by keeping every dollar locked away in a savings account for 30 years. They got there by understanding that money is meant to move, to grow, to be used as a tool, not stored like it's something fragile that might break. Here's the mindset shift I want you to walk away with today. Stop asking yourself, how much can I save this month? Start asking yourself, how can I make this money grow? And how can I grow along with it? That single question changes everything. It changes how you spend, how you invest, how you think about risk, and ultimately how your entire financial future unfolds. Saving isn't the enemy here. Blind, purposeless, excessive saving is the enemy. Money sitting still while life and inflation move forward without it, that's the real danger, and it's one that hides in plain sight because it feels so responsible. So here's my question for you. Are you actually building wealth, or are you just watching your money slowly lose value while feeling good about the number in your bank app? Think about that the next time you check your balance. And if this video shifted the way you think about your money even a little, do yourself a favor. Hit subscribe, because there's a lot more where this came from, and your future self is going to thank you for paying attention today instead of tomorrow. Don't just protect your money, make it work.